Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The campaign is entitled At Your Door. It was written by Ellen Eisenwill, Mark Morrison, Barbara Manoui, Chris Adams, Scott D. Anielowski, and Herbert Hike. I'm your game master, and this is episode 25. Without any further delay, then, let's continue our journey into the darkness. All right, you were all together in the morning after after you blew up the Black Dragon restaurant. So what are your moves today?
All right.
So the good news is that the media are reporting the explosion as a gas leak.
Yeah.
The bad news is that our Wiccan friends Scott and Jeff have freaked out and run away.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah, quite arguably. One question I have is whether we want to try to stake out the reconstruction of the restaurant to see if we can get a line on Madeleine Finley. And whether we do that or not, I would take a little subtlety.
As I recall, didn't I say that you staked it out for one night and there was definitely people staying there all night?
Yeah.
Right, but I assume she has to supervise reconstruction. I'm dying to get a hold of this Mrs. Finley. And anyway, that's something that somebody or somebody's can do while we prepare for perhaps an attempt to get into the Citadel. Because we're not going to try to get into the Citadel until night, I assume.
No, yeah. I can go stake it out. I'll go watch it.
Yeah.
With the restaurant or the Citadel? I think they both need to be staked out.
That's not a bad point.
Now it's going to be a little harder to stake out the Citadel because it's basically a big mirrored cube on top of a hill with parking lots all around it.
Yeah.
And also, even if we do spot Mrs. Finley, I still don't know how we would get close to her or even able to talk to her.
Well, I would be happy just to follow her home and see where she and the good doctor are shacked up. Because there might be less security there than there is at the Salvation Citadel. And she feels like a linchpin to me right now because she's the connection between the science and the Chocho. Again, she, as was noted earlier, she might have 4 spells that can dance on top of anything we can do. And it might be a very unpleasant encounter if it's face-to-face.
I'm wondering, Heather Mills is really good at impersonating people. Maybe she could be a Bell phone service technician. We'll get some equipment, maybe a little hard hat, some earphones, some kind of cable jack or a phone jack thing, and let you do your magic inside the Citadel. You're there. Oh, we got the call for something. I got to check the lines.
All right. Is anyone, now my specialty is in living creatures. Is anyone more knowledgeable about electricity?
I would be, I'd be hesitant to send you in there alone, Heather, because if things don't pan out and you're up there all by yourself.
Workmen would always be in teams because they got to carry the ladder. You got to carry the spool of cable for the phone line.
OSHA regulations, buddy systems. When the news reports, it was a newspaper report that said that Baxter Lilly was canceling appearances. Does that mean that the Citadel is closed to the public, or is somebody else giving sermons? Because it's possible that 2 clean-cut types could go there and check the place out as converts and get a much better impression of what's what.
I would imagine that they're still open for business. They've got to make money. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It just said that the Reverend Lully canceled appearances for the next couple of days.
So maybe he's got a stand-in.
Right, and that was already a couple of days ago that the vehicle was stolen and Killian disappeared, so he could be back in action.
Well, is it Friday now?
That's a very good question.
I think it was Thursday when last we We're talking. His big day is Sunday, obviously.
Right, and there were 2 days of newspaper reports about Killian, so at least one collapsed and elapsed.
Right.
Right. So priorities? Do we want to tackle? I mean, the thing I like about trying to find Madeleine Finley is that we know that she's up to her neck, whereas Lily, we have reason to suspect in a couple of regards, but nothing is concrete.
Right.
I wonder, is there any way we could draw her out somehow?
Well, broadly, I'm thinking that blowing up a restaurant might have done so, but...
Well, we will obviously absolutely stake out the place for a day or two, but if she has money, she pays people to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'd suggested that we just call and say, hey, we're coming down to inspect. We need the owner to actually be there. Then we don't show up, but we're just sitting there. And when she shows up and gets all pissed off.
Yeah, that's not bad, actually. That could work.
Well, no matter what we do, we can't let her see us.
Yeah, of course.
Because if Lurleen knew, we'll recognize our faces.
Yeah.
Maddie
Right.
Finley most definitely will. Even despite Heather's hair color change.
Yeah, well, I've lost weight too, so.
Might I suggest if you have facial hair, cut it, shave it. If you don't, let's start growing it. Ladies, go for a haircut and dye. Just a little.
I thought you were going to say, ladies, you too.
Yeah.
That'll throw them off. And then when this all goes south, we can go join the circus and hope that we live.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we want to try it?
Yep.
All right.
I'm game.
All right. Okay, I'm going to look in the blue pages and get the name of the Toronto gas company here. That way I'm not just making it up.
Toronto Hydro.
Yeah.
Hydropower, power and gas.
Yeah. So then I'm going to call up the restaurant.
Okay. The phone rings. Hello?
Hello, is this the Black Dragon restaurant?
Yes. Black Dragon Restaurant, yes.
Oh, good. This is
We're closed for business.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm from Toronto Hydro and Gas. We understand that we heard about the explosion and on. We're working to get that repaired. Unfortunately, you know how the government is. We got to come down and inspect.
Yeah, okay.
And the red tape and everything, we've got to have the owner there to sign the paperwork. So is he going to be available?
When do you want us to do this?
Well, when would he be available? Sooner's better, obviously. I mean, because business, we can't allow you to open the business until we get that inspected.
I don't know. Can you call back?
Sure. When's a good time to call back?
Call back in an hour. I'll find out.
In an hour. All righty.
That's not bad. That gives us a little time to go and do some costuming.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan and I have had a pretty good look at the local hardware stores. I know we can get some. Do we want to
coveralls at least?
Coveralls, spray paint a hard hat blue.
Yeah.
Also, to kind of twist the knife a little bit, we might consider if we get in under sneaky circumstances, we might try to fumigate places with food. Just to make it a little bit more offensive in there.
Wait, I don't think any of us are going to be able to get inside the Black Dragon again without being noticed.
Yeah.
Right. If we are able to sneak in, say after dark or something,
Oh, okay.
that would be a good
'Cause
option.
They've pretty much pegged us at this point. We've been there 3, 4, maybe 5 times.
Yeah.
So the staff has been alerted to us, and
And they might have already known who we were the whole time.
they might have.
Possibly. Yeah.
And also the charred, collapsed roof probably already made the kitchen area less than appetizing.
Okay.
Not to mention what was down the hallway in the other rooms. It has fallen through.
Yeah. Okay.
So we do a little preparatory shopping in case we need to pass ourselves off as public officials, utility workers, while we wait for the second phone call.
Yeah. What were some of the public buildings that were around the Black Dragon?
Oh, all sorts of things. Shops,
Okay.
general
So,
stores, clothing.
places we could meander in without looking.
It's downtown. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I figured. Just want to make sure. After an hour, I'll call him back.
I'm sorry, it's not downtown. That's the one in San Damiel is, but this one it's in Chinatown, which is not too far from downtown.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right, what were you gonna do?
After an hour, he's gonna call back.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll
give him the same spiel.
right. Yeah. She says, can you meet her here at 10 a.m. tomorrow?
10 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah. I'll send my guy down. You'll know his name. It's Charlie.
Charlie. Okay.
Yeah. Charlie Kane. He'll ID himself.
Charlie Kane.
Yep. And
okay.
so it's a woman. Sorry, I didn't mean to enforce the patriarchy by employing as a guy.
Mrs. Finley.
Miss Finley. Okay. All right.
Madeline Finley.
Okay. Any way that Charlie will be able to recognize her?
Oh, you'll recognize her. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. I'll let him know.
Just ask.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll let him know to be there at 10 o'clock in the morning.
All right.
Okay. I relay that to the other doctors.
We should be there bright and early somewhere. Actually, let's scope it out tonight so we can know where to wait to have the best vantage point.
Right.
For all, front, back, sides. We only have one shot at this.
I wish there was somebody she didn't know on site.
Yeah, but no luck there. Okay.
Even if we had an intern here, she probably knows what they look like too, given that we've got a mole.
Yeah.
If we hadn't scared Jeff away, he would have loved to play Charlie King.
So.
All right. Well, you've got a day.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, if we had someone, we don't necessarily have official papers to be signed, and under close scrutiny, anything that we throw together would probably fall apart pretty quick.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'm sure you could obtain some copy of something as an example from the library, or we could even go to the Hydro department and get some paperwork from them.
Yeah. But I mean, I wasn't planning on even showing. She's gonna show up there and we just follow her.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I think in the meantime, I am going to go have a hair appointment.
Yeah. Just trying to think how today, if there's anywhere we could look for that white limo. Now, did the article say it was owned by the church or was it rented?
It's owned by the church.
Yeah. Okay. So
it's Lully's bride.
It's his own personal. Okay.
Well, yeah, in terms of Dr. Evans getting your hair done, maybe I'll have a little light rinse and trim my facial hair or shave my facial hair very cleanly and see if there's any services today at the pavilion.
Yeah.
I would like you to do a luck roll.
Who, me? Or
I guess all of you.
Group luck.
Somebody's bound to pass.
not me?
Oh, 5.
Not me.
Okay. Well,
I found.
Very
Desmond-
lucky.
Luckily, it wasn't a critical fail.
Desmond realizes that it's probably important to keep an eye on the television because you've seen things on the television. And you happen to have the television on, and a commercial comes on for the museum talking about the fakes, frauds, and the thing that you've already been to and seen. And as you are watching the commercial, they're showing like footage from inside the building and people walking around and stuff like that. And it suddenly dawns on you that that big statue is gone.
Heather.
Yeah.
Do you remember what I was talking to you about? The maybe the church sponsored the exhibit just to get that statue out of storage?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
What if they decided to purchase it?
I hope that
It wasn't being shown anymore, so
Yeah, or it could have just been put back in storage. But I mean, call me crazy, but with that pink fluid around it, I jumped to even a worse conclusion. It left on its own accord.
Oh, didn't the museum caretaker, whoever it was, say that the statue was to be removed later that day anyway, was right? Or the next day?
That it was going to be removed.
Right. But we never asked who.
right. But I mean, of all the things that were there, that was by far the closest to everything else that we've encountered up to this point. And we still don't know what other reason the church would have for sponsoring such an exhibit.
Right.
I mean, why do they care?
So those of you that got a good look at the statue, what kind of base was it on?
To be honest with you, Jonathan, I didn't want to look that close.
Was it not carved from one very substantial piece of stone? So the base would be part of the sculpture itself?
No, the
It had a
base
base.
was actually looked like it had been constructed, and then like in a lot of museums displays, it was just covered with black, so that it falls into the background and you just see the statue. But it must have been substantial because that thing looks like it weighed thousands of pounds, a couple of pounds maybe.
Something in there was probably hollow, just for the sake of being able to move it easier.
Probably.
Yeah.
Museums have equipment to move large things around.
Yeah.
What if the stand was hollow, or the statue was hollow, and was being used as a hiding spot for the fluid?
Statue itself was so terrible, I don't think it's a ruse. The statue, reminded me of being in the cave.
Yeah.
Well, there was a little piece of a test tube that had the residue, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they broke the mother's milk or vial on the statue in an attempt to animate it or revive it or call forth whatever, the deity that's, I can't even believe I'm saying these words, but the whatever it represents, the to bring down the physical form to the statue or something.
Yeah. Barring that, there's a definite connection between our serum and the statue.
Right. I mean, we got time. I mean, Margaret's getting her hair done. Desmond's getting trimmed up. We can go down there. It's not that far.
I wonder if it's a Cho-Cho deity.
possible.
I've been able to find out very little about what they really believe, except that
Well,
they're
wasn't
considered primitives.
Wasn't the statue brought from somewhere in Europe?
No,
Okay.
Alaska.
But what I mean, that thing was, I don't know, the closest thing I could describe it would be, I think, some sort of crab. And that's very, very loose. But everything in the Cho-Cho's decorations were more of a cephalopod style, more like squid. And this thing was whatever it was,
Yeah.
not like a cephalopod.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just
Yeah, well, that's why I didn't look. Seemed awful. All right. Well,
Yeah, it still seemed oceanic. And of course, when you think about the Polynesian diaspora, I mean, you're on the Pacific Ocean, so there could be some relation.
yeah.
And again, if there's no way that a test tube of mother's milk got to that thing by coincidence.
No.
Although I imagine if it had animated and left, it would have set off some alarms, if not broken through some doors or walls or windows.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Oh.
But there is, I believe that the connection with Mother's Milk does tie the statue and to the church, because if we believe that Loli is behind the break-in and the serpent creature that killed everybody and stole it, and then a vial ends up at the exhibit, right? Those two events would be way too much of a coincidence to both have occurred and both be related to the same group and not have a solid connection. They wanted to use the milk on that for whatever. Don't know why, but
Well, John, you want to go down to the museum? You had a good repertoire with the curator.
Yeah. Well,
thought
reasonable.
Yeah, he thought I was a liar. Asshole.
Imagine
Heather,
he was
you
under
never
a
lie.
considerable amount of stress.
Nope.
Yeah, let's go see what we can do.
All right. So you drive down to the museum. It's open. It's busy. People are really enjoying that fakes, frauds, and whatever it was.
Yeah.
Fakes, frauds, and forgeries.
There you go. Fakes,
Yeah.
frauds, and
I knew it was an F.
it's a tongue twister. Fakes, frauds, and forgeries.
Yeah.
All right. So you go into the museum, and you can see, in fact, that the place where the statue was has been cleared, and now it's basically just sort of an open area that allows people to do more walking back and forth.
Right.
I would imagine they swept up all the glass.
Yeah, there's everything's been cleaned up. You can't even tell there was anything there.
Yeah. Go look at the floor. What kind of floor? Is it like a tile, or is it like that soft tile?
It's like that really thin Berber carpet everywhere, so everything's
Okay.
muffled and soft.
So there wouldn't be a scratches if something got dragged across it. Okay.
And so it's less noisy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Hard floors in a public space are
Clickety, 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 all constantly, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna find one of the pamphlets for the flyers for this exhibit, because before it had the statue kind of in the background of a picture.
Right.
I'm gonna see. Assume it's still there in that picture.
Yes.
Okay, and then I'll go up to the first museum person there.
Okay.
And go. Oh, pardon me, sir. I was really wanting to see this.
Ma'am.
Yeah. I'm loving the exhibit. I was really wanting to see this statue here. See, it's kind of in the background. I can't seem to locate it.
Oh yeah. I'm afraid that was removed from the collection.
Oh no. Did the owner claim it back, or?
Well, no, it belongs to the museum, but I believe that they sold it.
Sold it. Oh, wow. I didn't know the stuff was for sale.
Well, it's not generally, but I believe that there was a collector who wanted it, even though it was a fake.
Oh, yeah. Well, dang it. That's heartbreaking. Yeah. You wouldn't be able to. Was it an anonymous buyer? We were sent here as
I
people
don't
to
know.
go purchase. Oh, okay.
I don't have it. I don't have that information. You'd have to talk to somebody in the curator staff.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, that's a bummer, but thank you. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
It was bought. I mean,
Well, that raises eyebrows at least,
yeah.
if not interest.
I mean, that's a lot of money. I mean, to get a museum to sell something is a lot of money. Something that large.
That's what I was gonna say. It's somebody that has at least a decent amount of money, because just transportation on something that size alone would cost a pretty penny.
Yeah.
Right, and
Wow.
who do we know that's involved in all this that has that kind of cash?
First
JJ?
hint is a certain large individual with a propensity for getting into cabs.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, when Margaret says that, I look over at her in the next chair at the hair salon and say, "What are you talking about?"
I have this really bad mumbling habit ever since the cave. You know,
It's like we've
Nobody to
talked
talk to.
about it.
Women have a connection.
I'm thinking of grow the mustache out, right? And then with the lighter hair. What do you think?
No, I think you look good.
Do I look like I could belong to the church?
Yeah, I think so. Just hopefully this perm comes through.
It definitely would make you look a lot more square.
Desmond, I'm using that weird hair salon thing to talk with your mind.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope they're finding something useful at the museum.
What are those things called? The
big hair.
Oh, the hair dryers. Yeah.
Is it just a dryer?
Yeah, it just amplifies the psychic energy.
Well, it's a dryer, and it's to protect you against signals from the mothership.
Yeah.
Dual
I
purpose.
assume the inside is
Tinfoil.
inscribed with eldritch runes.
That too.
All right. Well, like I said, the curator, he wasn't a big fan of me. So if one of you fellas wanted to talk to him,
I could go. I can go see if I can get a moment with him to at least confirm our suspicions.
Yeah.
All right. So you find your way over to where you're pointed. People point you to where you need to go.
Well, I'd been into his office before, so.
So you get there, and as you're getting there, you can see that the door to his office is open, and there's a woman in there chatting with him. And after a couple of moments, she says pleasantries, and she leaves, and she smiles at you. And
what does she look like?
Just some lady.
Okay.
And then he's gone back to his desk, and he's sitting down and he's writing something.
I'll knock on the door for him.
Oh, yes. Hello? Yes.
You free?
Yes, please come inside.
Just for a moment. Hi. You probably remember me from a few days ago.
Yes, I believe I do remember you. Yes.
Yeah.
What can I do for you?
Well, I had questions about the hideous statue,
Mm.
and then I get dragged back in here because one of my colleagues noticed that it was missing.
Yes. Well, it's no longer part of our collection. It's been sold to a collector.
Is that well, can you tell me who?
Well, usually people who collect art don't want. So you have an interest in the statue for some reason?
Yeah, just So it's for an old era biology type project, looking at various dinosaur bones and stuff,
Well,
and then how that reflects art.
I suppose, I can tell you who it is, but I don't think that you've got much of a chance. Pastor Lully is quite a collector of old object arts and things like this. Pastor Dexter Lully, he's the televangelist.
Right. I've seen him on TV. He didn't strike me as a collector. That's
Well, I mean,
that's interesting.
He's obviously a Christian preacher, but he also has a penchant for art and things like that. And I don't personally know why he wanted the ugly old thing, but he gave a fairly large donation to the museum, and
Right. Yeah.
we had no.
They donated all the Bibles and such, right?
And indeed, yes. Plus, yes, he gave us quite a substantial amount for it. It was just taking up room downstairs. So we saw no reason, and it's not authentic. It's definitely not an Inuit Indian from Alaska. But in any case, he's the one who has it. I don't know that you'd be able to get it away from him if it was really that important to you. But you might try.
No, we really just want to take a look at it.
Well,
for research. I'll contact him.
I believe that it may be in temporary storage. It's due to be delivered, I believe, to his location sometime tomorrow or the next day, maybe.
Okay.
Apparently he wants to be there, and he's indisposed at the moment. So anyways, enjoy the rest of the exhibit.
Oh, certainly.
The hell out of my office.
Thank you for your time.
And so you go back and rejoin your friends.
Well, Heather, our suspicions were confirmed.
Yeah.
Dear Reverend Lully has made a substantial purchase of statuary. It's not in his collection currently, though. It's being held at a position, but I didn't get that before I was shoved out of the office. So
think it'd be stored here. I mean, what are the odds
Possibly.
they moved it to storage and then to another storage?
Yeah. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it without.
No. Last thing we need to get arrested and miss our appointment for tomorrow.
Well, our appointment that we're intentionally missing.
Exactly. All right. Cool. Well, now we know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Desmond and Margaret, they're just taking the curlers out of your hair and doing the final. I have no idea.
Yes, I've gotten it dyed red and permed.
Okay. I haven't had my hair done for a long time.
Same.
The way they do my hair is they go, it's done. All right. So what do you guys want to do now that you're leaving?
Do we want to look for some mega church appropriate secondhand clothes?
I'd say that we should.
That should give the others time to meet up at the hotel for lunch and a recap.
Yep, I'm sure that there's a Goodwill around here somewhere.
Desmond, I'm going to want to go out on a limb and say it's a mega church looking for mega donations, and to get treated properly, we should go in looking sharp.
Are you there too, Ethan?
I wasn't at the museum. I was getting my...
Oh.
That's why I was quiet when they
left Ethan back there, and he's got one of those things over his head and he doesn't know you've left. He's just talking away.
I got a magazine, and I think they're behind me.
Yeah, he's got a magazine. He's like, I still think of Jenny every day.
Well, that goes
They're
without
so-
saying. When this is all over, I'm going to go on a quest to find her and free her
all right.
from
So
Area 51.
the three of you have left. What were you going to do? I'm sorry, Dr. Ethan. Go ahead and say what you were saying.
Crap, I forgot. Oh, we shouldn't go to Goodwill. We should go to J.C. Penney's or to Sears and get a suit off the rack, because we want to look a little like not like we're rich, but we want to look like we have some money. So when the contribution plate comes around every Sunday, we could fill it up. If we go in there with Goodwill, moth-eaten clothes, they might hand us a pamphlet and be like, yeah, come on Sunday. I'm assuming you might even have to buy tickets for this. I don't know if you could just walk in for a service. You might need to purchase your seat if it's an arena.
Yeah, I admit I don't know how that works. Right, but we don't want to look smart. We just want to look like we have clean cut with enough money. They don't need you to be rich as long as you're willing to tithe 10%.
True.
All right. So you guys go shopping. Dr. Leash and Dr. Mills, what do you do?
Well, what do we want to do about the statue?
Like I said, unless we know where it's being stored, I can't think of. But maybe we'll go down. I think Dr. Carlo said down in the
Ideally-
base. Yeah.
Ideally, we would know where it's headed.
Yeah. Yeah, we're pretty sure.
I would think it would go to his private residency, unless he's planning on taking it to a warehouse in order to, I don't know, perform a ritual or something.
Yeah.
What do televangelists do with creepy statues?
Build build amusement parks and now Dr. Carlisle did say that Jeff and Scott were down in the basement and they went to a door, so that means the basement's open to the public. Maybe the storage is down there, so wouldn't hurt to
We could
look.
try.
We're already here.
Yeah, let's saunter around until we get kicked out.
Okay. So retracing, well, do you guys know where he followed them down the stairs?
Now he would have described it, but I imagine the basement, the doors start looking the same.
All right. Well, you wander around, and there are a number of stairwells that go up to the next level and down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably getting this all wrong for the museum, but there's a cafeteria downstairs.
There was.
And you start wandering around the halls, and you can see a few green doors that are like, staff only.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them says basement access, staff only.
Okay. I'll just hit the knob and see if it's locked.
It's not locked.
Oops. Hey, this door's open.
Is there anyone around?
Do a luck roll, Dr. Leash.
You're asking for it. Whew. I think that's a hard.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a hard.
When you turn the last corner to come down this corridor, there's nobody there.
Okay.
After you.
All right.
All right.
Step in. Is the lights on? Is there a light switch?
Well, you step in. There's lights on. It's
Okay. All right. Cool.
And there's a stairwell going down one level.
Okay.
And you go down the stairs, and as you're going down the stairs, you're aware that they're metal stairs, and that every time you step, it makes a little clink sound.
Shouldn't have wore these hills.
when you get to the bottom, it's basically corridors going off into the distance, and there are rooms on either side that don't seem to have closed doors, but you can see that they've got stuff stored in them.
Mm-hmm.
You can also see a great deal of light coming from one end, as if there's daylight down there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's where I was going to go, because I was going to ask if I could try and figure out, because something that big, they're going to need a truck, and they're going to want to buy a garage door. So,
right.
Now, of course, I'm going to be listening. If I hear voices, I don't know what I'm going to do, but.
Right. All right.
Are any of these doors locked?
They're not closed.
Okay.
They look like they're just storage areas where they've got stuff stored, paintings and dinosaurs and things like that. Dinosaurs and paintings of dinosaurs. Okay, so as you walk down towards the end of the corridor, Dr. Heather, I'd like you to do a luck roll. You're about halfway down the corridor, heading towards the sunlit area.
Did you have to bring your heels?
That's a fail.
Okay. So you take a few more steps forward, and a man in like a white jumper with a clipboard in his hand comes around the corner, and he's writing something, and he's walking in your direction, and he suddenly looks up and he says, I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh, I'm Dr. Mills. Who are you? We're here for some research. Looking for. We were told to come down to the basement. It's for some dinosaurs for the university. We're, writing a paper on that.
Do you have an exhibit number or an inventory number?
I think it was.
No. There was a statue recently taken down here from upstairs.
The big one.
I think it was sold.
Yeah. No, it's out there on the dock, on the loading dock. It's supposed to go. I think tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're just.
That's not a dinosaur, though.
Yeah, we know, but there's. The
dinosaur
the deans, they get these crazy ideas and they just want to disprove it, and they're going, oh well, maybe they found some dinosaurs up in the lab, and I started giving him this total bullshit story, but
and he just sort of waves you to follow him, and he walks you back into the dock area, and there are a few other dock people working. They're just moving stuff around, and he goes over there. He's got a little desk against the wall. It's kind of messy, and he sits down. He opens up a logbook, and he says, "This is supposed to be picked up 3:00 tomorrow afternoon and taken to Salvation Citadel." That's Reverend Lully's place.
Yeah, that's what we were told, and he's been a great assist in us. I mean, obviously he doesn't believe in evolution, so we have a little bit there, but that's why we were kind of wanting to look at it before we get here.
Well, it's all boxed up. It's ready to go, so it shouldn't be having any trouble going at all.
Okay, that's good.
Awesome. I think they're bringing in a red line truck.
Red line?
Yeah, because it's heavy.
Oh yeah, it looked heavy.
Did it come with is it just boxed up the statue itself, or is it on the stand?
No, it's just boxed up by itself.
Okay.
Apparently, it's going to have its own stand when it's taken.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Else I can help you guys with?
No, you've been wonderful help, and we appreciate all the support you give the university.
Sure, thanks.
Can we just go out the garage door, or do we gotta go all the way back up the steps?
Well, you're gonna have to walk all the way around and back up.
So you're saying?
Oh yeah, that's not worth it.
All right.
So if you just go back the way you came, you should be able to get up.
All right. Well, thank you.
Been more than help.
Okay. So you walk back up. You go back up the stairs. And
See, Dr. Leeds, you just bullshitting. You get what you want.
Apparently.
I saw the light at Don Biosine. Let's head back to the hotel. Meet the others.
All right.
Can you tiptoe up the stairs? It's giving me a headache.
I'd have to have Dr. Heather do a dex roll to see if she
Yeah.
loses her footing. High heels and pumps, no doubt.
Yeah.
She survives monsters, but crit fails going up the stairs and snaps her neck.
Right.
All right, so
Jack is finally called into action.
you guys leave the museum, and the three glam people. What are you doing next? Were you heading back to the hotel, or you went shopping for clothes?
Yeah, I don't know if this platinum blonde was the right choice.
You know what? It looks good, Dr. Carlisle.
It's a little sandy. It brings out your eyes. I think it's all right. I'm just excited about this hideous powder blue suit I bought.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it has to be better than this floral dress.
Oh, you look fetching.
all right. So are the three of you also going back to the hotel? All right, y'all meet back up at the hotel.
We relay our find that at 1500, 3 o'clock tomorrow, they're going to be picking up the statue with the red line. So we got a little slop built in.
And it's going to be delivered not to Lully's private residence, but the church. Which...
That's really peculiar.
That makes my little jab about rituals a little bit more...
Mm-hmm.
A little bit less joking.
No, I think, it sounds
Unless they
like,
want to turn it into a fountain or something. I have no idea.
no, I can imagine it being the focal point of the rabid worship of thousands of desperate souls. I don't know what it has to do with a missing limousine.
Am I not?
And I don't know how we can intercept it. This is when I want to have a SWAT team instead of, a guy who makes pipe bombs.
Allegedly.
Let's say that his driver was like a sacrifice, maybe even. Or he found out what the Reverend was doing and was already converted, so his hero... this is just speculation, but his hero fell. So either he found out what the Reverend was doing and disagreed with it, or maybe he was sacrificed. And him going into hiding might be preparation for this ritual or the statue coming to the Citadel. Just,
No, that's kind of what I was thinking too, was that he found something out that he wasn't supposed to, and the Reverend's like, you got to be quiet. And I know how to make you quiet. He did it in the car. That's why the car had to go away.
Now, refresh my memory. Did this limo driver disappear, or was he found dead?
He disappeared.
Disappear. Okay.
He and the car are both gone. That's the thing.
Okay.
But it seems like it would be strange for Lully. It seems like a sacrifice for Lully to give his car up just to get rid of this gutter punk kid that he'd taken in. If he wanted.
But it's a better cover story if the kid drove off with the car.
Right, but it's also another object to have to hide. Whereas if he just has Killian tied up in the basement waiting to sacrifice him to the crab god, who, by the way, I'm now calling the Alaskan king crab.
That's an apt name. Good as any.
I was taking notes and it came to me. So if he's going to sacrifice, well, I don't know. There's a bunch of different things. The good news, as it were, is that now we do have a solid connection between Lully and Mother's Milk. We've got a direct link between the statue of Lully and Mother's Milk. But I don't know, how we interfere with the security apparatus that he's put in place around his megachurch.
Yeah.
I mean, he calls it a citadel for a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. We might want to get a binoculars or a telescope Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to be at the restaurant at like 7 a.m. in case she shows up early, and then be at the Citadel. Oh, do we have to go? Yeah. See where they bring it into at least, or
Yeah.
hmm
so we're gonna have to hope we can get from one to the other. Make
And
a
if
contingency plan that no matter what happens at the restaurant, 2 people need to peel off if we're still there, regardless of what happens.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, teams of 2.
Okay, what are you going to do for the rest of the day? You don't have anything to do until 10 o'clock tomorrow.
That's a good question. I mean, do we have any equipment we want to arrange for? Dr. Liege, you want to be able to generate another gas leak?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm sorry. Yeah, never mind. Now, the 3 of us, how do you think we look at our outfits? We look like lolly types, right?
yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to borrow the
sure.
Bible from the
I'm not sure
hotel
if hair
room.
metal's. I'm not sure if hair metal's making a comeback or Motown.
Come
but-
on. It's 91, baby.
Hair metal rocking.
Alive and well.
Yeah. So,
I don't know.
yeah.
And now, Dr. Flores, do you still have the that Latin text that we got from Jenny?
Yep, we got
Have you
that.
made any more progress on that? I mean, I'm wondering if there's something in there that might even the odds in an unfortunate encounter with Mrs. Finley.
Very interesting question. I have been reading it at night.
Which text do you have? I don't remember.
I think the Vermis Mysteries.
Yeah.
Of all the things to have, let's talk about that for a minute. Divermis Mysteries. I'd say it's been a couple of weeks. Well, how long has it been since Jenny?
There was at least a month that passed.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say 6 weeks.
Yeah,
I'd say you're probably in October at this point in the game.
Mhm. And tomorrow's Halloween.
Still hot.
Let's see. Desmond.
Video removed for copyright. Sorry.
I'd like you to do a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
Pity I used that 05 earlier because I've only got. Oh, wait. Oh, my God. I made exactly 18 for 18.
Okay, so you passed.
I did.
Too bad. Then you only get 4 extra Cthulhu Mythos points. You get more if you fail.
Well, it's a positive or a negative. It all depends on your viewpoint.
I
You
mean,
might-
honestly,
you
being
might-
up to 22 is pretty scary.
You might get more later. There are definitely a number of rather terrifying invocations inside the text. Things that make you very nervous even to look at. Apparently, you might be able, under the right circumstances, to summon a child of Shub-Niggurath, one of those things.
Wow. Although I know we don't know how to feed them.
Yeah.
But
There's-
having one available is pretty alarming.
There's also some suggestions. You haven't completely read through it, but there's some suggestions that you might achieve immortality by transferring your mind into the body of another by switching places with them. But it's complex and it involves some rather horrific things along the way. It's you can do a 2d6. Well, do a 1d6 for sanity loss.
Six. So I've had a lot of interesting rolls tonight.
Dang.
So
your morality is sort of challenged by this.
Yeah, I'm not going to mention the whole immortality thing to anybody. Yeah, there's nothing in there like the endurance spell that I have found so far, although it's interesting and I'm still translating.
Nothing about sneaking into heavily fortified areas.
No invisibility.
Breaking statues.
No, it's a lot less useful than that endurance spell. I guess that's why it was popular.
Yeah.
Let me know if you find a spell that just instantly draws out all bad guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I should add that it does mention Shub-Niggurath by name a number of times, so
Ooh.
have a name.
So, do I recognize that as the name of the?
Yeah, it's referred to as the Black Goat of the Woods with 1,000 young. It's kind of described the milk of the mother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and her name is in your endurance chant, isn't it? So now I have an assist.
Now you realize that yes, at the end of the chant is the word.
Right, it's directly an appeal to her. Yeah, I don't know anything that'll help. I mean, we're half of us maybe can use endurance tomorrow, but I don't have a magic bullet from here.
No. Yeah, I got an idea how we could distract the guards. We could crash a car and one of us could get somewhat injured, crash the car into like their gate or something. Come respond to that.
With ambulances and fire engines, and
Yep, they'll all be focused on that instead of you guys in their building.
wouldn't they be focused on you guys who crashed the car?
Just the one that crashed it. Yeah, so yeah. All right. So did we want to go stake it out, just take a look at it today? I know a couple of you guys went by. But maybe with
the Citadel or the restaurant?
the Citadel. I don't want to be by the restaurant today.
Desmond and I have passed by there already. I don't want to get noticed right away when we go back.
Mm-hmm.
Although I got the outfit in hopes that we could get into an earlier event and get the lay of the land.
That's true.
And unless they're looking real closely, I mean, we're dressed differently. My hair is fairer. Your hair is very fair.
I completely blanked on that for a second. That's why. Sorry.
Might be
Dr.
useful for
Carter.
tomorrow to know what the inside of the place looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, reconnaissance is never bad.
Nope, definitely not. Well, sounds like a plan.
All right, so are we just going to skip ahead till the next day?
We were talking about rolling over to the Citadel today.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Going in.
All right. Are you all going to go?
I think the plan was those of us who've had a makeover might go, or 2 out of the 3 of us. I feel like if a male and a female go together, it's probably the least suspicious looking thing at a place like that. So, I don't know. Margaret, do you feel like who do you feel would make a better fake husband to visit the church? Dr. Carlyle or myself?
How old are your characters?
Good question.
Sorry, out of game here.
I'm 35, but I'm a little homely looking. I have some animal scratch scars on my face, so.
I'm 38, and yeah, my appearance is 45.
Okay, you're probably close because I think like Margaret is 50, right? She's older. So I think Desmond, I think that you
All
and
right.
I would make the most convincing.
So let's if perhaps one of you museum investigators want to drop us off and wait around in case we have to run out
Sure.
if they send the snakes after us.
I think
Right.
the wrong pictures for your avatars in the beginning of this.
I don't know. Mine's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a homelier crew. The one I sent you, my poor character image is, I think he's an appearance to 45.
All right.
Same here.
All right.
I'm a 40 appearance.
Oh my god.
Well, he,
Yeah.
wild animals in the jungle for
Yeah.
15 years.
Leeches on his face.
All right.
They lied about that leech skin treatment. It did not make me look younger.
Outside the game for a moment, my nephew was in a car accident a couple of months ago, and now he's got a big scar right here, and he thinks it's the coolest thing of all.
Oh, good.
It's so Harry Potter.
Yeah. It's Harry Potter.
All right.
Or early TV supervillain,
Yeah.
Get him a Persian.
Mhm.
All right. So once again, who's going with who? Who's going to be married to who?
So I'm going with Dr. Flores.
Okay.
And
we're
I can drive the happy couple.
That's
Okay.
very sweet.
I'll
All
have
right.
Barry White playing on the radio.
And then Ethan and Heather, what are you going to do? Are you going to go together too, or?
We weren't planning on having two couples.
Okay.
No. I was gonna watch the TV, see if there's any news, and go through the newspapers.
Okay. All right. So Jonathan drives Margaret and Desmond over to the Salvation Citadel. There's quite a few cars parked. There's also an underground parking, but you're able to park in front. You go inside, and once again, the big giant steps going up to the main part of the church, nobody's going up there right now. That's Sunday. But you go in through the entrance to the gift place, and there's people in there who can answer any questions you want, or what would you like to do?
The people who are they wearing name tags? The friendlies?
Yes. There's a man and a woman. They look like they're in their 20s. Bill and Stacy.
I've got my Gideon Bible under my arm.
Okay.
From the hotel. And I say, bless you.
Hi.
Are you having a wonderful day, I hope?
Oh, yes. God bless you. What can we do for you?
Well, we're in town only for 5 or 6 days, and we watch on television, and we do contribute, and we are desperately hoping to look around as much of the Citadel as we can. We're in town, and we're hoping to ascend the stairs for the services on Sunday.
Oh, well, there's if you want, there is a Sunday tour of the building for a $50 donation.
That's very reasonable. And the service itself, how does that work?
Well, the service is open to the public. They'll seat you if you have a large group and you want to sit together. They can assist you. Otherwise, you can just take a chair where you want. Usually, the fronts fill up faster than the backs. And here's some brochures. And he hands you some brochures.
How early do folks show up for the front? We'd like to see him up close, like he is on TV.
Well, the doors open at 10 a.m. And there's usually crowd starts forming around 9 to get inside. Do you watch him on television? You say you haven't been?
Oh, we watch him every Sunday.
He's quite a dynamic personality.
Absolutely. I mean, pretty much our pilgrimage to this city is just to come to the Citadel and see Ed and him in person.
Well, he opens up the branch brochure and he shows you. He says, "You see here," he says, "Open to the public." Blah 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 blah. Sundays, so we're open from 10 until 2, and the Reverend gives his thing here. There's a $50 donation if you want to have the Sunday tour of the building, see our operations. Now, for a $500 donation, you get the tour, but you also get to have Sunday dinner with Reverend Lully, who comes personally in attendance, and he talks.
Oh, well, we'll definitely have to do that, right, honey?
Oh, you'd be interested in that?
Oh, definitely.
I mean, it's gonna.
That's
Yeah,
unbelievable. I can't believe that he would take the time to just meet, little folks like us. That's amazing.
Well, let me call. Hold on. Let me call Carla, and we'll have her come in. Hold on.
Thank you,
Carla. We have some people here who are interested in the dinner with Pastor Lully. Yes. Yeah, I think they have cash. Yes, for Sunday. All right. She's going to be out in just a minute. She's checking the schedule and everything. And
that's really remarkable. Is the dinner here on the site?
Yes, I believe so. It's upstairs.
Like a dining hall. Is it hundreds of people?
Well, not usually. No, it's usually a dozen or so people. Like Desmond doing his excitement. After a couple of moments, a woman comes out, dressed very nicely, and she says to the guy, she says, "These are the people." "Oh, hello. My name is Carla Wheelwright, and
Very happy to meet you, Miss Carla.
I'm in charge of the Reverend's scheduling. It looks like he is free this Sunday. If you'd like to have dinner with him. There's only going to be about 14 other people, but you'll be sitting at the same table as him, and he'll talk, and you can converse with him."
Oh, that's just so amazing.
I'm all but speechless. I really had no idea.
Yeah. So, would you like to do that? In fact.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Indubitably. I don't know if I have 1,000. Margaret, do we have 1,000 in cash? Do you take personal check?
I don't believe we take checks, but if you have a card.
Oh, I believe that we do. Yeah.
Major credit cards.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't use the one that says full wilderness.
Full wilderness, yeah, I'm not. I'm using my own personal. I can reimburse me later.
All right. So you're put on the schedule. She says, what you can do is you can show up here on Sunday after the services, and you'll be meeting with the other people here, and then you'll all go up the elevator together.
Well, that's fantastic. I don't know what better thing could follow a live service than...
He's such a wonderful man.
Oh, yes. And I would hate the trouble at the dinner for a signed copy of the books. You just so happen to sell signed copies of his books here?
Well, we don't sell signed copies, but I'm sure that you could probably get him to sign a book for you.
Oh, that would just be amazing.
It'll be like a holy relic in our dining room.
So she's very bubbly and very enthusiastic. Do a psych roll, though, on her.
My 10% in psychology fails me yet again.
And my 18 is a hard success.
Oh,
It's all the mushrooms I took. They give me insight.
you feel as if she genuinely believes what she's saying, that all of this money is going to go to a wonderful cause, and she's a fanatic for this guy. He thinks he's the new Jesus Christ, I guess.
Is that different than Bill and Stacy, or is it just like it's true believers wall to wall?
They're harder to read. They're harder to read because they're just young, enthusiastic people who are really glad they're making money and have a job, and their smiles look painted on almost. It's hard to tell because they don't know what working is really.
Well, Carla, I can't tell you what a delight it is to meet you. I feel like you're our sister already. Do you ever attend the dinner yourself?
Oh no.
I wonder, do you know what sort of thing they serve?
Yes, and she hands you a pamphlet with a complete menu on it.
Oh, this is magnificent. Look, honey. No Alaska king crab.
Oh, well, that's I know that's your favorite, honey, but I think it will be all worth it still.
Don't think it's in season.
It will be in a couple days. All right, so you finish with Carla.
Thank you so much, Miss Wheelwright. I hope I'll see you on Sunday, and I think it's just a blessing we met you today. Margaret, let's go. I don't know what to do.
Yes, of course we'll be. So happy. May God bless you.
All right. What are the other three doing?
Better be watching it. Aw, Heather.
I was like, wow.
Taking some notes.
Well, I am.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Good grief! Yeah,
That's going to be an interesting.
I'm in the car. And I felt the disturbance in the force.
Yeah.
Like $1,000 crying out and then suddenly being silenced.
Dr. Liege, you're out in the parking lot. You can see there's quite a few cars. You occasionally see employees come in and out. You occasionally see tourists. There's a lot of people milling about.
The tourists are the ones with cameras.
Yeah, there are definitely people taking pictures of the building. There are no balconies or anything on the outside. It's like a gigantic silver cube with crosses on all four sides. And it's up on a hill with a cement base, and there's stairs going up the hill a little bit, and then there's those big stairs going up into the auditorium. You occasionally see some people walking around that are obviously employees. They're dressed in the same uniform. They look like bouncers. They're oddly big. They look like government employees, touching their ears and radioing one another. And so the security is fairly high. Do a spot hidden for me.
Expecting that. That is. Nope, fail.
Okay. You can see that there are a lot of people parking underneath the building as well. You can see where the ramp is going into the underground parking. A lot of people going there. You might guess that a lot of employees are going that direction as well. But nothing.
Then their cars don't get crapped on by birds.
Yeah, probably. All right, so eventually you see Dr. Evans and Dr. Flores come out of the building, giggling and skipping and whatever.
Walking at a good clip.
And they head over to your car and get in.
So
What,
we
did they
just
drug
had
you?
the most amazing opportunity to have dinner with the Reverend himself on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yay!
Jadic
It's
is
delightful.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
he's gonna get one heck of an expense report.
Yeah, Margaret's going to get some points on her credit card.
Can you imagine $500 a pop to eat dinner with a? Oh man.
I'm in the wrong business.
And he apparently speaks privately to these small groups in a different area upstairs, which I think is very. I think it's going to be very interesting to look
You
in
know,
there.
my conversation upstairs was a heck of a lot more cheap, and it ended with a bang. So
One could even say there was sort of a happy ending.
yeah, I mean, it's not a competition, but the standard is
I
been
I
set pretty
believe that
high.
the person we'll have a conversation with, I think, is far more interesting.
Quite possibly, yes. Might have more to say.
The standard menu is like brisket and hash and corn or something. It's just very bland American food or Canadian bland food.
My guess is it's probably pretty nice for $500.
I would hope so.
But I mean, speaking with Lowly is its own reward.
The windows are up. You don't need to. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I have to tell you,
You just get into character. I can see it. Heather just gets addicted to it. I can see it.
they really are drinking the Kool-Aid in there. I don't know about the bodyguards, but the staff member we met, she's like,
She's converted 100%.
yeah, she's a complete Luddite.
And by Kool-Aid, are you thinking it's a pinkish fluid or
well, it wasn't Kool-Aid, was it? It was
Flavor Aid?
Flavor Aid. Yeah. They're drinking a special reconstituted juice beverage.
All right. Dr. Mills and Dr. Carlisle, what are you guys up to?
We're checking the newspapers, listening to the TV and radio.
By now, there's probably something in the newspaper again about the Black Dragon being temporarily closed because of a gas explosion. Authorities don't know what may have caused it. It's all modern, plumbing and modern stuff. It shouldn't have happened.
Someone lit a match in the bathroom.
Oh.
Yeah. Tragedy.
But other than that, you don't really run across anything.
Okay.
Temperatures are still skyrocketing. There's not international news. I guess it is international news. You see that California has experienced a number of minor earthquakes over the last couple of weeks, most of them around 3 to 5.0.
Are they close together geographically?
They're all centered around the mountains east of San Damiano.
Okay. Yeah.
Near the San Andreas Fault.
Right. Okay. Earthquake weather.
All right. So eventually, I think you all come back together again.
So I think I just bought the most expensive dinner in my life.
Oh, you did, huh?
Hopefully only expensive fiscally.
Yeah.
Because going into the Viper's Nest, we've got 2 tickets. I don't even know if I want to fake an ID. How can we explain why we're married and have different names? Because I have the feeling that we're going to get patted down by those goons.
Well, you're just very progressive.
I guess I said your names are on the lists. So did you give them fake names?
Not with a credit card.
I guess
No.
not.
Margaret, Mr. and Mrs. Evans.
Nobody asked.
Yeah. On Sunday I'll be Desmond Evans, and we'll figure it out if they get that personal.
Or you just got married, you haven't filed.
All right.
It's your honeymoon. It's good.
Yeah, hey, look at you. Come up with solutions, Heather. You're an old hat at this. We should be looking to you for your infinite false persona wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we go into the evening of Friday night.
So did we get binoculars?
Sure.
So we did get those because we're going to want those tomorrow. Okay. Walkie-talkies.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So we have a really crazy weekend. I wish there was an anti-endurance spell that I could go to sleep now and wake up tomorrow morning and, be human for 48 hours.
What if you say it backwards?
Backwards.
Yeah.
Propofol.
NyQuil.
Do you know what? There is something I figured out from the Divermis, which is that the name of the Great Mother is Shub-Nigurat. The one in the spell, the endurance spell is it's a prayer to the Great Mother.
At the end of the thing, right?
That's right. Every time we've used it, we've said her name. We've called her true name.
I thought
That's new and exciting.
I remember Jenny saying something about Shub-Niggurath, but
Why?
Well, with that revelation, Dr. Evans, Dr. Mills, Dr. Carlisle, and Dr. Lees, you can do a Cthulhu Mythos roll.
I failed.
Yeah. No.
I failed.
I passed.
New.
Double ought two. Wow.
If you made it, roll a 1d4. And if you failed, roll a 2d4. And that's your additions to your Cthulhu Mythos.
5 points.
4.
I got
Fine,
3.
That's what I got.
9-hole Cthulhu Mythos.
9?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You just had your ears plugged in the cave that whole time.
Yeah, well,
I'm sitting at a pretty 17.
Yeah, me too.
That's a side effect of either not being in the location or passing sanity rolls.
Do we lose corresponding sanity?
You'll lose maximum sanity. So there's one number at the top for maximum.
Yeah.
You have to subtract.
Yeah, 99 subtract your Cthulhu Mythos skill.
Yeah.
That means you can never get over that amount of sanity.
Yeah.
Right.
You'll never regain that amount of sanity.
Heather was
With
never regaining it anyway.
With the AutoCalc PDF, it's rather nice because it just does it for you.
Yeah.
You see, I have the manual AutoCalc 3000, the new innovation in Call of Cthulhu technology.
Pencil?
Called sheaves of paper.
Yeah, it's powered by a breaking new, innovative tool called a pencil,
Yeah.
a mechanical version.
Right. Well, if we're getting up early, probably going to go to bed early. I might have me one last cigarette and then.
Heather, you started off using those to bribe kids, but now you see why you want them.
I see the appeal to it.
Yeah,
Surgeon General's
you got to learn. You got to learn why they want it. That's a key part to bribery, right?
Yep. They get a hold of you.
All right. Let's say you all have dinner. You all go to bed early. You all get up in the morning. We'll just skip ahead. Your appointment at the Black Dragon was for 10 o'clock. So I assume you're going to drive there 9:30.
Who else going?
park
Ethan wanted to
nearby.
go even earlier.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because in case she showed up an hour or two ahead of time, I'd rather see her approach than I don't know.
Ethan's just gonna be at like 3
Well,
a.m. in a ghillie suit
well,
and a couple of rose bushes across the street.
I think getting there early, maybe dropping some people off, but I'd hate to leave the car sitting there all
Mhm.
that time. That
And
a
The
person can
people,
blend in.
the people watching, if they can go down a manhole and like hide in a storm drain across the street.
Well, we go. There's shops. You go
Yeah.
you find a Tim Hortons. You sit down. You have a cup of coffee, a double double
Mhm.
with a bear claw or something, and you watch. Then you get up, and two other people come in and sit down and have a bear claw and a coffee, and the other two walk to the shop to look at a scarf or whatever the hell.
Does it have to be a bear claw?
It has to be a bear claw.
It has to be a bear claw. I'm
Mm.
afraid
Ever
it's
had a
Canadian
Tim
regulation.
Hortons? Tim Hortons bear claw?
Would it
So
look
I
out of
guess this
place
is-
if I got an eclair?
Okay.
They,
That would give you away. That'd give
Oh,
away.
dang.
Okay.
So I
Yeah.
guess this is dinner conversation the night before.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of two vehicles. I like the idea of two people in a nearby store early, and then one vehicle that arrives, not long before 10,
Yeah.
so that we have two chances to follow her when she gets in, because Charlie is not going to show up.
Nope.
All right.
We agreed roundly with these tactics.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like where you're going, Desmond.
I'm still carrying that Gideon Bible everywhere now. It feels lucky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So you drive to Chinatown. There isn't a Tim Hortons. There's a lot of little shops and things like that. Yeah, you've already been here a number of times.
change of plans. No coffee, tea.
Yeah. So were you going to park your cars and get out? I mean, you could park them around the corner, around back. You could sit in your cars.
I didn't. Yeah, we weren't gonna. From what I understood, we weren't gonna sit in the cars until much closer to the showtime because people are gonna notice that.
Okay. So,
Is there a public lot around there?
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
You could put the first car in a public lot that would be there longer, which wouldn't be unheard of in a touristy area.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other people walking around. Okay, there's people shopping. There's people giggling. There's people fixing food. There's, this is an area where people walk around and shop and tourists come to take pictures and stuff like that.
Also, if we have walkie-talkies, we could leave them in a pocket, and then just trigger them twice if we see the target.
Yeah.
Just click, click, and everyone should be able to hear that.
Yeah. And she's supposed to be a handsome woman, and I think people have said it kind of with quotes.
And she'll be aggravated about 10-15. So.
Isn't she a chocho?
We don't know.
I
would assume so.
I think she's might not be a full chocho, but she is definitely related.
All right. So you're sitting there for a while, and people are coming and going and all of that. And everybody do a spot hidden roll.
26.
39.
98.
Okay.
86.
One shy of a hard.
Mills and Flores are busy playing with fans.
Yeah. God, it is hot.
Not paying attention.
I get some bear claw on my shirt while I'm cleaning it off. I'm mumbling, and Claire wouldn't have done this.
Dr. Carlisle and Dr. Evans, as you guys are standing there, you notice a very nice black Lexus pull up in front of the restaurant. There's like 4 parking spots right there. Most of the parking's in the rear, but it parks in the first one next to the handicap. And you see a little short gentleman get out, obviously a Chocho. He hops out of the driver's seat and he runs back and he opens up the back seat. And out steps a rather diminutive woman. She looks like she's maybe 4'7" at the most. She has the complexion of a Chocho. She's got that dark sort of complexion. She's very wrinkly. She looks like she spent a great deal of time in the sun. On her head is a full head of platinum blonde hair. She has bright red lipstick and her cheeks are rouged, and she has blue-green eyeshadow over her eyes, and she has a one of these with a cigarette. She's got a sort of thing draped around her, and she doesn't have a poodle, but you wouldn't be surprised if she had a poodle. She's also dressed a little too young for her age, a little too frou-frou, a little too flowery. But she gets out, and with her purse and her high heels.
How old does she look? Sorry.
Well, she looks like she's probably in her 60s.
Okay.
But she's trying to look like she's in her 30s.
I'm gonna elbow Dr. Lee, who's sitting next to me. Hey, look. You can worry about your shirt later. She's here.
Oh yeah.
And you see her. Now the stuff she's wearing is expensive looking. So she gets out. She fusses for a moment with the driver, and then she takes a couple steps up towards the door of the restaurant, and then you see her wait and look at the driver, and he comes running up and opens up the door for her, and she goes inside. And then he goes back to the car.
Can I get the plate number?
Sure.
You love writing those things down.
I don't really need it. I just want to make sure it's notated that I took the plate.
D19762. Okay. Somebody's going to write it and say, that's not what Canadian number
is. It? Oh, it is
but
a
it's
Canadian plate, though.
That's what I was getting at. It's Canadian plates?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Margaret, do you think I can run around and get in the car? And then signal me with the walkie-talkie when I should pull out and pick you up.
Okay.
I'll let everyone else know what's up. So I'll get up and go to the car.
Good. We brought 2 cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll go get the other one. I'm gonna just kind of park it, about probably on the same curb, facing the same way she is, but a few car stalls back, like I'm standing waiting for someone.
Wait, we should call. We should call on the payphone, have Dr. Mills call and say that they have to move the appointment.
Well, that's good. That's less waiting.
And then it also raises less suspicion that was actually a ruse.
Yeah, because then she won't call the gas company.
Right. Very good call. What are the 2 cars? Who's with whom?
I thought I was with you, Desmond.
That's fine. I think we discussed it, but we've got fresh vehicles full of gas and pointed in 2 directions. Heather, if you make that call, then she'll probably curse at somebody on the staff and storm out and get back into her black Lexus. I like it.
All right.
And it gives us time because she has an aversion to opening doors.
All right. Well, just in case someone be in the driver's seat of this car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm in the one.
Okay.
Who's in the driver's car? Who was in the seat of the other one?
I'll be driving.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So it's about 9:30 when she arrives.
Okay.
and nothing happens that you can see until about 10:45.
And that's with the phone call from Heather?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say you were going to call her?
Yeah, I was going to call.
We're calling to apologetically postpone the appointment.
All right. So you call, you get the same voice that you got before.
Right. And I go, oh, hello, this is the can't remember, hydro and gas. I was calling. This is Black Dragon, correct?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just. I was wondering if you could let your owner know we are not going to be able to make it out there. We checked the paperwork. The pipes should be good, and all.
Why didn't you call before? The owner's here now.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I really hate this. I just got the message that Charlie can't make it.
You suddenly hear a screeching voice in the background. You don't understand it. It's obviously not English.
Yeah. I go. Again, we really apologize. We'll make it. We'll just mail the paperwork. That way we don't have to inconvenience her again. We'll come by and just check it out.
All right.
And I gotta go. My boss is calling. Click.
Yeah. You can tell that all hell's breaking loose at this point. I'd say another 10 minutes go by before the door comes flying open, and she comes marching down the stairs, and she keeps turning around and screaming something at them.
And you can really tell that she's pissed because she opened the door all on her own. Oh my goodness!
But she's speaking in Chocho, obviously, so she screams a few things at them. At the same time this is happening, the guys jumped out of the car and run around to open up her door, and she gets inside and he closes the door, and you hear her scream something at him, and he gets in the car and the car pulls out and starts to go.
Well, she seems nice.
Mm-hmm.
So over the walkie-talkie, I'm gonna say, whoever's closer, take point following. After 5 or 10 minutes, 15 minutes, peel off, and I'll the other car will pull up and follow.
Yep.
That way, if we get spotted.
All right. Who's in what car? So I go.
And let's have communication people sit in the back so they're not up in the windscreen.
Correct.
Being able to be seen talking on a walkie-talkie.
Right. So I'm in the back behind Dr. Carlisle. Dr. Leach is in the back behind Dr. Mills. Margaret?
I'm driving.
Oh, sorry. Other way around. Margaret, which death trap do you want to chase the maniac in?
Did anybody come pick me? I'm just kidding. I will be with Carlisle and Flores.
Okay.
All right. You follow them onto the main thoroughfare. You're heading north out of the city, and you end up on turning off the main. You see that there's a part where it's still a fairly decent paved road, probably going farther north into, but it comes to a place where there's a hill that's got a lot of landscaping on it, and there's a drive going up the hill to looks like a big 2-story house up there.
Yeah, just drive past it.
And the address is 3594 Mount Clare Road.
Because we like writing those down.
I got it. Yeah. All right. So that's Mrs. Finley's. Okay. And that it looked like a private drive is what you were saying. Okay. Yeah.
And in a very nice area. Lots of expensive homes out here.
Right. Okay.
Are the homes gated?
Some are, some aren't. Hers isn't.
Are they far enough apart for some privacy in the event of a minor emergency?
Yes.
Do we see any cameras on the front entrance or anything?
No.
91, that's pretty fancy after all. All right, we've got an address. That's very.
Did there appear to be any exposed gas pipes?
No.
Do they have a lightning rod duct taped to an external gas line?
Yeah.
Nope.
Okay.
Huh.
There are also quite a few large trees and things like that.
Of course. Yeah.
Is it on acreage? Would you say?
Yeah, it's you could call it an estate.
Right. A little bit of rolling grass, some trees.
Yeah, and you can't really see too many details. You can see the second story of the house, but the hill kind of obscures your view.
Right, and we can't tell how many vehicles there are, or.
And from the style, your guess is it's something that was probably built in the 70s.
Okay.
So it's still fairly new house.
Yeah, 20 years. That's not
Modern looking sort of thing.
okay. All right.
I assume we'll continue driving up into the next gas station and pull in.
Okay.
Stretch our legs, hit the restroom, grab a cup of coffee, and discuss.
Compare
Another
our
bear
notes.
claw.
Those bear claws go down really easy. I'll have to give a smudge. And we've got a few hours until the Alaskan King.
Yeah.
A brilliant way to interfere in that process, or is it going to be me and Margaret and the Belly of the Beast tomorrow night?
Well, if anything's planned for this evening involving the statue, I don't know if we have any excellent plan to stop it, so might as well just.
I mean, unless we could rent a truck and pick it up a little early.
That was yesterday, wasn't it? Because we woke up.
Yep, that's
they're
getting.
picking it up
Yep, today.
today.
Yeah, it's in a couple of hours, in fact. We know it's a red star. What is it?
Red
line.
Line.
Mhm.
Red Line. Is that the same company that we've seen elsewhere?
They delivered the tree monster for Wilderness.
But they're like a UPS, right? They're not. It's not
They're
private.
they're a trucking company, yeah.
Right.
It's
Right.
not a Cho-Cho trucking company.
Yeah, but it's not like Penske, where you can rent Penske trucks.
Right.
It's, it's their own trucks.
Yeah, so we'd have to.
But when we hear that name, it's like, oh, that's an established company. It's
Right.
not
Yeah.
right.
You see red line trucks all the time.
Right.
But they're
Yeah.
big ones. They're big trucks. They're not.
Yeah, it's a trailer, like a tractor trailer type. Yeah.
Right, but we can't we can't go out and just get a red line
Yeah.
truck and some red
No.
line uniforms. That's all locked up.
Well, the uniforms you might be able to get, but we need a CDL to rent a truck, and it would probably take 48 hours.
Well, then you need
Yeah.
a license to drive a.
Right, a CDL, yeah.
Hmm.
So that's out of the question. Sorry, just spitting out ideas here.
And there's no way that it's not like there's some way. I just don't know. I feel very frustrated that we have the knowledge of when the damn thing's going there and nothing to do with it. Even if we threw caltrips on every road between the two places,
Hmm.
they're just going to get across.
Well, we know who bought it and where it's winding up. We know where the Finley house is. Two pieces of the puzzle we didn't know the other day are in place. So
Right.
after you recon at the dinner, should we be kinfolk of yours and we're going to try and get tickets to this meal too, so we're all together?
I wouldn't recommend us appearing like we're all in one big group, to be honest. If you're going to get your own tickets to this thing, you got to get your own.
And
We can't be involved.
I'm worried about being recognized already.
Mhm.
I mean, if, Margaret used her credit card. We had no choice. So they have a name. It's not an uncommon name. And Margaret's a redhead now, and they don't, but, I have the hairiest feeling that Doctor and Madeline Finley are going to be at the dinner on Sunday anyway. So I definitely don't think we should all be in the same room.
Right. Reduce the chances of noticing.
I mean, if the Finleys are there, we're noticed anyway. Whether or not they choose to say anything is a different story. But this is more of a blast radius. If something bad is going to happen, as much as I hate to say it, I would rather it only befall two of us than all of us.
And
now,
if they're there, their house is empty.
correct. That is a great idea.
And I think
Mhm.
that my dear wife Margaret and I are going to be feeling very full of endurance on Sundays.
Yes. Almost
There
definitely.
needs to be a way for you to get us information if they are there. So we know the house is. I doubt it'll be empty. I bet you they'll have a bunch of Chocho servants, but at least the main culprits won't be there. Now, also, if Mr. Finley is there, he's an international criminal. Should we have him arrested? Take him out of the picture. Let her flounder on her own.
That's if we survive dinner.
I think she's
if
the
they're
brains
there.
behind the operation anyway, but I think
also
he's just the money.
We also have her vehicle description and her plates. If she ends up going to this dinner,
Yeah, but
there's no reason for her to end up with a rental car.
no, it should be driven and the car would be parked probably in a private area underground. We'd
Well,
have
there's
to you can go.
Ethan's suggestions strikes me somewhat differently. What if we, get Jadick or Slakes or someone on the phone and get them to tell Interpol that the doctor who's responsible for the explosion in San Damiel, who fled the country and whose whereabouts are unknown, is at 3594 Mount Clair Road outside of Toronto. That could really interfere with their weekend.
And we don't have a full visual on them yet, so I'd hold off on that until we got it. But then don't forget, if we make that call through the channels, there's a mole that could tell them. We might need to make that call.
Yeah, if we alert full wilderness, then they'll know that we know.
Heather, have
Unless
you read
we-
from Glonsandi?
No, I haven't.
She wishes.
I'm starting to think he's not interested.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
You're right, he is. But
Or is he-
no,
He's on business in California, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's busy.
San Damiel, though. I mean,
Heather, if he's the mole, you're going to have to,
Yeah, that's what I was just going to
Step
say.
back.
He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that to me.
well, I sure hope he wouldn't, but we can't take that chance.
I understand. Damn sweet.
All right. I think that's where we should leave it because the 3 o'clock appointment is going to take a bit. All right. Our players included Morgan Llewellyn, Brian Daly, Keith Craig, Jason Melnichuk, and David Gassaway, with yours truly as keeper of the secrets. We're currently producing up to 5 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved with our show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch that bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering the questions you might have. This is Tom Riley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.